Welcome to Mog TCG. This is Mog talking, and today I'm teaching Star Wars Unlimited to Pokémon players. So I will put the game side by side to explain everything about it. So if you're a Star Wars player and you have like Pokémon friends, please send to them because you can bring some Pokemon players to Star Wars Unlimited world. So this is good, right? More players in this game is better always. So let's start this. Let's start with the energy and the resource. So in Pokemon we have the energy, and we have, like, as you can see here, the water, the fire, and the grass, and every energy that we have in the game for the types that we have in the game. And in Pokemon we have these colors that we can say the colors like red is for fire and something like that, and you can play with all of them in your deck if you wanted to. So as you can see here, we have the Charizard X, and the Charizard attacks with fire energy. So if you play with this, you put the fire energy in your deck, right? But if you play with Charizard X and another Pokemon that have like another water type, you can play with fire energy and water energy in your deck, right? And Pokemon doesn't have the mana resource mechanics like Star Wars and like Magic, and you need to attach energy in your Pokemon to attack, right? So we can attach one energy per turn, but sometimes we can use the trainer supporter to maybe play more energies, attach more energy in your Pokemon, right? Like this welder. Now next turn we can attach this one and attack with the second attack, right? You know this. So let's start talking about Star Wars Unlimited, right? So in Star Wars we have the resource, and you start with 6 cards in hand and choose 2 cards to put as resource. Every turn you draw 2 cards and you can resource 1 card. So any card can be a resource. The card is put face down as a resource. So let's pretend we draw this our first hand, that is this 6 cards, and now we get to decide which card can be as a resource. So now I will put in this Han Solo and this Millennium Falcon. So we put it in face down. So now we have 2 resources, right? And as you can see in the top left of the cards, we have these numbers, and this is the cost of the cards. So I have 2 resources, so I can play Jinyasu or Alliance X-Wing. So in this situation, I will exhaust these 2 resources. Now I'll play this Jinyasu because this costs 2 and I paid 2 resources. Okay? So next turn I will draw 2 cards, and then I can play another resource face down, and I don't need to play these 2 cards that I draw. I can play like this K2, this Chewbacca, or this Alliance in 2. So in the next turn I will draw 2 cards, and I can put a one more face down card as a resource. So now I have 3 resources, and I ready all the resources. Okay. So types and aspect. So in Pokemon we have a lot of types, as I showed before, the energy. So we have a bunch of types, right? And in Star Wars we have types too, but it's the aspect that we call it. So we have these colors that we can call vigilance, that is the blue, aggression, that is the red, the command, that is the green, and cunning, that is the yellow one. But we have the hero and the villainy too, and this changed the things a little bit here from Pokemon, because in Star Wars, we have the hero and the villainy. As you can see here, we have this Luke Skywalker that is blue and hero, and Mandalorian is yellow and hero. Darth Vader is red and villain, and Palpatine is green and villain. So what does change in the game? So in Star Wars, you can play with all the specs if you want, but you need to pay a penalty if you play a card that don't share the aspects, the color, with your base and with your leader, because in Star Wars we have the base and the leader. And as you can see here, we're using the chopper base. There is a base that have a life of 30, and is yellow, as you can see the top right of the card. It is a yellow base. And Luke Skywalker, it is a blue hero. So our deck is supposed to play with yellow and blue cards, and only with hero cards or cards that is just blue or yellow. They don't need to be just with hero. Okay. So what happens if I play with other colors? Because I said that you can play with all the colors if you want. So let's pretend this Sabine Wren. As you can see here in the top left, she is a red hero. So the cost is 2, of course. And like I said, it is aggression and hero, red hero. So in this situation, you need to pay plus 2 resources to her, because you need to play +2 for every aspect that doesn't share the same color as with your base and your leader. So she's red and hero. Hero we have, right? Because Luke have the hero aspect, but we don't have the aggression one, the red one. So we need to play. So we need to pay +2 for this, okay? So let's pretend we want to play this Darth Vader. So the Darth Vader costs 7, but have the command and the villainy aspect, and we don't share this, so we need to pay 4 for this penalty, okay? Because we don't have the green color and we don't have the villainy because we're playing with Luke Skywalker, okay? So this is it. So let's start with the basics now. So we have here this Pikachu and Luke Skywalker, the main characters from the both franchise. So as you can see here, this Pikachu has 7 HP and Luke Skywalker has 7 HP, as you can see on the right. So this Pikachu can deal 30 plus damage, because depends of the result of the coin that you flip. And the Luke Skywalker have 4 attack. And this Pikachu needs 3 energy to attack, and Luke Skywalker needs 6 resources to deploy because he's a leader. So to play cards, you need to play the cost, right? So this is it. And let's talk about now about the board. So in Pokemon board, you will see something like this. You have the active Pokemon, you have the benched Pokemon that you can play with 5, or sometimes you can play more if you have a card that says that you can do this, right? And only the active one can attack, okay? But in Star Wars it's kind of different. We have the base, as I said before, and the leader. You start every game with a base and a leader, and you have the ground arena and the space arena, okay? So you get to decide. The first player gets to decide which side is the ground or the space, because so if I start, I can play a ground unit in the right or the left. I get to decide because I'm the first one. But if I play in the left, now my opponent needs to play space in the another side, okay? So this is it. Every unit can attack in Star Wars. So when you attack, you do this. You exhaust a unit. So every unit that you play in exhaust mode. So you can't attack with this unit this turn. You can only attack with the next one when you ready the unit. Okay? So when you attack, you exhaust, and then you can't attack anymore with this unit this turn. And grounded units attack only grounded units, and space units attacks only space units. But sometimes some units says that the unit can attack the other arena, but it will be in the card, okay? So this is it. Let's talk about combat. So the combat here, we see the Pikachu against Charizard GX and Luke Skywalker against Darth Vader. So Pikachu used their attacks, and let's pretend that you flip the coin and you just get tails. So we deal just 30 damage. And as you can see, Pikachu doesn't take any damage because you attack the Charizard, right? But in Star Wars, it's different. So when you attack with Skywalker and Darth Vader, you deal the 4 damage that, as you can see, the attack of Luke Skywalker is 4, right? So we deal 4 damage. But when we attack another unit, we take the damage back 2. And as you can see here, Darth Vader has 5 attack. So Luke Skywalker takes this 5 damage when attacks Vader, okay? And if Darth Vader attacks Luke Skywalker now, he defeated Luke Skywalker, but he's going to die too, because he have only 8 HP, and Luke Skywalker will attack for 4 again. So both units take damage, like this Turtonator GX in Pokemon, because Shell Trap says you attack for 20, and during your opponent's next turn, if this Pokemon is damaged by an attack, put 8 damage counters on the attack Pokemon. So it's like this, but in Star Wars, every time you attack a unit, you take the damage from his attack, okay? So now let's talk about this trainer and the event. So in Pokemon, we have the trainer, and as you can see here, we have the supporter, that is Professor Research. Discard your hand and draw 7 cards. And in Star Wars, we have the strategic analysis, draw 2 cards. But in Pokemon, you can play 1 supporter per turn, right? And in Star Wars, you can play as many events you want, but you need to pay the cost for each one. So as you can see here, the strategic analysis have the cost 5, right? So if you have like 10 resources, you can play strategic analysis and play on something else. But if you have only 5, you just play this event and you can't play something else. And in Pokemon we have the items, and items you can play as many you want for free, right? And this recruit looks like a nest ball. You search the top 5 cards for your unit, and you have a lot of units in Star Wars, so you're probably going to draw a unit. And it costs only 1, so if you have 5 resources, you can play this recruit. If you have 6 resources, you can play this recruit, and they're not the one to draw 2 cards. And in the Pokemon we have the 2 cards, and the Star Wars we have the upgrade cards. It's probably the same thing. But in Pokemon you can attach only 1 tune in each Pokemon, but in Star Wars you can attach as many upgrades you want in your units. So let's pretend we have here this Pikachu and this Luke Skywalker. So we can attach the Choice Band and Pikachu and this Jedi Lightsaber Luke Skywalker. But this Luke Skywalker can have more upgrades like this Luke's lightsaber, okay? So now, how to win the game? Because in Pokemon, you can win the game by taking 6 prizes, or you attack your opponent's Pokemon and now he's benched out and he can promote one Pokemon to the active and you win the game. Or you can mill your opponent and now he have 0 cards in the deck and you can just pass, and if he will draw a card for the turn and he doesn't have a card in the deck, he just lose the game, right? And you win. But in Star Wars it's simple, because the only way that you can win is destroying the enemy base. So as you can see here, we have this chopper base. They have the 30 life, as we can see in the top left. So you need to deal 30 damage in the base. This is the only way that you can win in Star Wars Unlimited. But in Star Wars we have some different bases, special bases that have abilities like this Torque Down. The epic action deal 3 damage to damage only the unit. Epic action is something that you can do only 1 per game. But as you can see here, this base have 25 life. So yeah, to have this epic action, you lost 5 life. So in this situation, you just need to deal 25 damage in the base. But what happens if the deck is over? So different from Pokemon, if you need to draw and don't have a card in the deck, you deal 3 damage in your base for each card you're supposed to draw. So as I said before, you draw 2 cards per turn. So if I don't have a card in the deck anymore, and now I need to draw these 2 cards for the turn, I take 1 card and I don't have 3 damage. The second one, 3 damage again. So if I don't have a deck anymore, I take 6 damage each turn, right? Because I need to draw 2 cards. And if my opponents use like ability, okay, I choose you to draw 2 cards and I don't have 2 cards, I take 6 damage again, and continues like this. So turn and phase. In Pokemon, you play your turn alone and your opponent just waits your turn. And so he passed to me, and now I can do whatever I want. I can use Ultra Ball, Nest Ball, promote, use Switch, something like that. I can heal, then I can use support, then I can do everything and my opponent just wait. But in Star Wars it's different. In Star Wars Limited, we share the phase, the turn. So I do an action and now it's my opponent. When he did his action, it's my turn again. And continues like this till the end of the phase. So I have one action. Maybe I have 6 resources. I paid 2 resources to play a unit that costs 2. Now it's my opponent because I did my action. Now it's him. Now he did something. It's back for me. So now I can attack with something. I did an action. It's my opponent again, and we share this. But if we share the turn, who started the phase? Who did the action first, right? So we have something here. We have this initiative. That is this token that is Star Wars Limited. We have this token that is initiative. So the player who had the initiative plays first. So if I won in the coin flip or with the dice, I get to decide who go first. So I decided who go first, so I play first. So I took the initiative. But it's more complex than this. So let's pretend we have this situation. So this player with Luke Skywalker have the initiative. So he started doing things first. Let's pretend that they already did everything with the resources, so they can attack here. So let's see this. The Luke Skywalker used the Millennium Falcon. He have the initiative, and he used the Millennium Falcon to attack 3 in the base of Vader. So now Vader used the Darth Maul to attack 5 in the base. And as you can see here, Luke used the Han Solo to defeat the Darth Maul, but he didn't take the damage because, as you can read here, while attacking this unit, deals combat damage before the defenders. So Han Solo do the damage before, so he defeats the Maul and don't take the damage back. So now the Vader used the Punish 1 to attack 3 in the base, and now the Luke Skywalker player attacks with Yoda in the base. But as you can see here, you'll have this Restore 2. Restore 2 is when you attack, I restore 2 of my base. So he attacked 2 in the base of Vader and restored 2. So now he's not 8 damage in the base anymore. It's just 6 because he healed. But now Vader doesn't have more actions, and Luke Skywalker did the last one here. So it's now the Vader. So what Vader can do here? He can grab the initiative for him. So now Luke Skywalker don't have anything to do, so he will pass, and now they will go to the next phase, to the next turn. So both players will draw 2 cards, as we said before, draw 2 cards, and we can resource 1 card. But now the Vader player have the initiative, so he starts this turn doing something. So now let's talk more about the initiative. So we have here the initiative, and let's pretend we have 4 resources. I pay 2 resources to play this Alliance X-Wing, and I still have 2 resources, but I don't have any play to do. Maybe I just have cost 3 or plus 3 in my hand, so I can't pay these 2 resources. I don't have any units to attack or something like that. I would just do initiative, and now my opponent can play alone, like Pokemon. Now, if I took initiative, I can't do nothing. If I can't attack, I can't play something, I can't use my leader's ability. If I took initiative, I don't do nothing. I just wait for my opponent do whatever he wants. He can play alone till he pass, till he don't have anything to do. So now he pass, and we go to the next phase, to the next turn. So we draw 2 cards, we can resource and do stuff. So you need to be aware of this, because you can just pick your initiative if you don't have anything else to do, or if you think it's better to take initiative to do something first in the next turn. Because sometimes you have something to play, but you can see, oh, I have a unit that can attack for 6, and my opponent only have 5 life in the base, but my unit is exhaust. He can't attack this turn, but he can attack the next one. So I would take initiative, because if my opponent do something and he don't he don't defeat this unit, I can just attack 6 in the base and win the game. Because sometimes you can do this, something like this, right? So this is it. And now let's start talking about the leaders. And as you can see here, we have this Luke Skywalker, and almost every leader have actions. Sometimes we have leaders with just passive abilities, but this one have the action, and this action is cost 1, so we need to pay 1 resource and exhaust this leader, because we can use this ability only once per turn. So we can pay 1 and exhaust this leader. And if we do this, we give a shield token to a hero unit you played this phase. So if I play something like, let's suppose I have 3 resources, so I can play a unit that costs 2, then I can use the Luke's ability, Luke's action, to put a shield on this ability. And what is shield? Shield is you put an upgrade. Shielded is upgraded, you can play in your unit, and now can prevent any damage. So if you put a shield in a 2/2 unit that have 2 attack and 2 life, if opponent attacks with a 10 unit that attack for 10, doesn't matter if you have a shield, because we'll just hit the shield and you break the shield and your unit's still alive. But as you can see here, we have the epic action, like I said before, with the base. The epic action of Luke is, if you control 6 or more resources, deploy this leader. So you can deploy this leader, and as you can read in the epic action, flip him, red him, and move him to the ground arena. Because Luke Skywalker, it is as you can see in the top card, is a leader unit ground. So you deploy in the ground, and you can ready. So you deploy it ready. Like every unit that you play exhausted, so you can just attack in the next turn. But when you deploy leader, they deploy it ready, so you can attack right now. Not right now, because you did this action, so now it's your opponent. So when back to you, you can attack with Luke. So as you can see, Luke is a 4/7, like we showed before, and it have this on attack. So on attack is abilities that triggers when you attack. So you attack and you did this ability now. You trigger this ability now. You don't need to wait for an action or something like that. So you attack and you do the ability right away. So on attack of this Luke, you may give another unit a shield token. So if you had another unit, you attack with Luke and put a shield in this unit. This is it. And we have a plenty of other leaders that have a lot of actions, a lot of on attacks, a lot of any abilities that you can think. And this is fun because we can change our decks, changing the leaders, changing the bases, and kind of stuff, right? So this is it, guys. I think this is everything you need to know to play Star Wars Unlimited. So if you're a Pokemon player and you like this content, please like and subscribe. This helps me a lot, and it's for free, and you don't know how much subscribe helps the channel. And this is it. I think we talked about everything that you need to know to start the game. As you can see, as I said before, we have like restore. There's the ability of Yoda that when you attack, you restore something in your base. This is something like we called keywords. We have units that have the keyword shielded, so when you play the unit, they gain a shield or something like that. We have the, as we can see here, here, the Han Solo have the ambush. What is ambush? When you play a unit with ambush, you can attack another unit right away. You don't need to wait to the next turn, so you can play an ambush unit and attack another unit. But what we see here, the red word is ambush in the restore 2. This is keyword, and we have a lot of keywords in the game, and we can talk about this in another video that I can explain more about the game. But I think this is everything you need to know to start the game right now. Okay, so this is it, guys. Like I said before, if you like the content, please like and subscribe, and see you in the next video.